What's up guys, Mike here, and today I'm going to give you my 10 pieces of advice to help you get off on the right foot when starting your career in film and TV. Alright, so the very first one is know what you want to be, or at the very least, a very vague idea. Do you want to be a video editor? Do you want to be an audio? Do you want to be a director? Do you want to be a screenwriter? These are things that you need to know because it, at the very least, is going to give you a trajectory. When I started, I was intending to be an editor. All my classes were focused on post-production and visual effects, and I ended up not doing that at all. But it served me well because a lot of the things I learned as an editor, receiving footage, helped set me up to help me be a better shooter, DP, and working on the production side instead of the post-production side. So there's value in learning different aspects of it, but at the very least, have an idea of where you want to go, because at the very least, you're gonna have some trajectory and a path to go. And I encourage you to focus on the things that you either are just passionate about right now, things that you just want to get a little bit better at. All of this is going to help you be an even better storyteller, regardless of what you choose to emphasize first. It doesn't matter where you start. That doesn't mean you're going to stay in that forever. You can always move laterally to other departments later. But at the very minimum, have an idea of just where you want to go. Not everybody has the exact same starting block. Some people have friends and family in the industry. Some people have a little bit more money to be able to get gear earlier and get hands-on experience sooner. Some people are gonna have seen way more movies than you and have more of just a history in their mind of different techniques and styles and aesthetics to figure out what their voice is like in visual storytelling and just what they enjoy or what they feel like is them and their style. Some people are able to go to film school, some can't or don't. Some people had high schools or middle schools or earlier education that had radio, television, film programs. Some had none at all. Now, don't freak out about this. The main thing is just to make peace with that it's not an even playing field. Everybody has a different starting block. And a good thing to keep in mind, most people don't really care what your education is in terms of where'd you go to school. It's more so what can you do and are you a good person to work with? Those are the most important things. At the end of the day, it comes down to what do you know how to do and are you a good person to work with? It doesn't matter where you started or how long you've been doing it. While that can be advantageous, it doesn't necessarily mean someone is instantly better or further along than you on that alone. All right, the next point is film school is not a requirement. I know that may freak out a film student or two, but I tell you this because while it can be really good to go to school and to have that one-on-one interaction with people that have either been in the industry or just have more experience that you'll get at film schools, or the ability to have access to higher end gear, film grants to go make full-on short films or documentaries or things like that, it is not a necessity. While there is value, there are other ways for you to learn and get experience in other avenues. You could go to community college. You could do YouTube University and learn through YouTube, like channels like ours. Feel free to subscribe if you'd like to learn more about filmmaking and content creation. We post a video every single week. Getting on set as a PA or even in theater, there's different ways to get experience that isn't just film school. If you don't go to NYU or USC, it doesn't mean you'll never be able to make a movie or win an Emmy. On the contrary, if anything, one of the best things about the industry today is so many people are getting experience from so many different places, is you're getting a much greater variety in storytelling, technique, and style. It's almost like another renaissance in terms of just there's so much more possibility. So don't be discouraged if you're not able to financially afford film school or you're not able to get in. There are other ways to get that education to give you the knowledge that you need to be effective on set and to tell a good story. All right, the next piece of advice is be early, which is not being on time, because if you're on time, you're late. And if you're late, you're not going to get called back. So always be prompt. If the call time is 5 a.m., be there at 4:45 or even 4:30. There's nothing wrong with being there early and maybe just sitting in your car sipping on some coffee for a little bit longer. Always be early. Be early. People, one, remember those that are early, and two, that means you can either get the day started sooner, you can get to know some of the other crew members, you can have a chance to talk casually with a director or clients in a fashion that you wouldn't get if you just showed up and had to hit the ground running. This is a good idea. Just always be early. This is just a good practice in life, whether you're in film or not. Just be early, man. Because if you're late, then you're gonna have that ripple effect on the rest of the production. Someone's gonna be down a person in their crew or on their team, and it's just a bad thing for everybody involved. So be early, please. Do yourself a favor and be early. All right, the next piece of advice, don't be an...
How are you doing that with your mouth?
Okay, I say this because you never know where people are going to be down the line. That PA that is bringing you coffee might be in a position where they are an executive producer down the line, and they may call you. They may remember that you were a jerk and they don't want you anywhere near their set. You have no idea where you're going to run into somebody later. You have no idea when you'll see a client again or when someone else may be crew, and then all of a sudden running the next production that you're on. Be kind. And also connect with the crew. Meet as many people as you can when you're on set. When a production is happening, make sure you're doing your job and do what you have to do, but also take the time to get to know the people around you. Media, film, and TV is a very tight-knit group. You'll find out most people know each other through 5 or 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. You know, everybody will somehow, some way be able to connect you with someone else they know pretty quickly. So be friendly, get to know these people, be helpful, shake people's hands, look them in the eye, learn people's names. I struggle with this all the time. Try to learn someone's name. It carries a lot of weight for a lot of people when you take the time to get to know them. And also when you're on set as well, if you're learning things for the first time or you're still early in your career, take advantage of the knowledge around you. Ask questions. Ask why people are setting things up a certain way. Or if you genuinely don't know how to do something, this is the best time to ask, because someone will be able to teach you or just pay attention. Observe what's happening around you. The best experience you will ever get is on-set experience. That cannot be matched. All right, the next one is put in the work. It's impossible to know everything about video and production. It's one of the things that I love about it, is because you can't know everything. Things are changing all the time. There's always new tech. There's always going to be a different way to do something. And that's okay. If anything, that should be exciting to you. So don't be lazy. Let your passion fuel you in this pursuit. Use it as rocket fuel and jet fuel. You should be psyched about getting to learn all this cool stuff. And honestly, if this is your passion, you're probably doing this naturally already. You're probably researching cameras and looking up lighting, studying film, and just nerding out about it with other people. But make sure you put in the work and be an ever evolving student of the craft. Learn about it as often as you can. Keep at it, keep learning, keep pushing yourself, because you're only going to get better and better and better with every rep you get. All right, the next thing is welcome failure. I remember early in my career, one of the guys that I worked with, he told me about a time he opened a film roll and saw the inside of a can of film. Now, if you've never shot on film, the easiest way to just sum this up real fast, the moment daylight shines on film, it's ruined. It's done. And when he was early in his career, he opened it up and it just totally ruined an entire brand new roll of film. Now, while he was embarrassed, he learned something. And also, some people will say if you haven't seen the inside of a film roll, you haven't made enough mistakes. And that also means you don't really have a lot of experience because you haven't made many mistakes. So, making mistakes are inevitable. You're gonna forget to record. You're gonna forget to charge your batteries. You're gonna leave something behind that you need. You're gonna miss a shot on your shot list. Things are gonna happen. That's okay. The main thing is see these as opportunities to learn and adapt for the next one. Don't dwell on it, but make sure that you don't minimize it either. See every mistake as an opportunity to make yourself that much better. So own it, learn from it, and move on. Never miss out on the opportunity to learn from your mistakes. All right, the next one is always be learning. New tech comes out all the time in our industry, and it seems to be happening faster and faster every single year. When NAB rolls around, you feel like the camera you just bought is just a piece of garbage because now the next one can do 5 or 6 things better that you wish were in it on yours. And you're like, oh man, I gotta buy that one now. Shoot, that lens is even sharper. I need that one. It's okay. These are things to keep track of. And also, that just means you have more things that you get to learn because now there's something that can maybe assist you on that next production that is now available. There's a new tool out there. When new stuff comes out, this empowers you to have new ways to tell stories and to be able to do things that maybe required 3 people can now be done with 1 person. So learn about these new pieces of tech, different things that come out, because you may be able to deploy something new in your next production or in a story that you're wanting to tell that can maybe get you a different look or empower you to do more with less people. All right, the next piece of advice I have is get your reps. So use what you have. And for a lot of you, that may just be a smartphone, which is excellent. You can shoot a lot of really cool stuff with your phone. You can still frame and block things like you would if you were to use a full frame mirrorless camera or cinema camera. The main thing is, can you stitch together a good sequence? Can you tell a story with what you have? And the answer is, yes, you can. Now, let's do it. So, gear does not make the filmmaker and the storyteller. It's quite the opposite. Those are tools. It's no more different than, the top of the line hammer versus a rusty old one found in a shed. They're both hammers. They both can do hammer things. But the carpenter is the one that's going to know how to use it the best versus someone who's never hammered a nail in their life. So take the time to just use what you have. Get out there and start creating. Don't be afraid to take work you're also not passionate about when you're early on. The most important thing when you're first starting is to get stuff under your belt. The more interviews that you can do, the more videos for your city council or your school, the more you can do, the better you're going to be on the 3rd project and the 4th project and so on. Reps matter. So do as much as you can and as often as you can. You get an offer to shoot a wedding? Do it. You get an offer to make a video for your mom's friend's Etsy store? Say yes. Until you have a steady work flow, whether that's being a staffer or just consistent freelance jobs that are coming, take every job you can get and see this as a chance to continue to grow and develop and build up your portfolio and your reel and continue to compound and build on your experience. All right, this is the last one. It is the most important because without this one, The rest mean nothing. Believe in yourself. If you don't believe in what you're doing, if you don't have the passion and the drive, and you think that this is what you ought to be doing, you're not going to get to where you need to go. You are your biggest champion. If storytelling and video and filming is the song of your heart, it's what you want to do, you need to believe in you, that yes, you can do it. And surround yourself with people that also believe that you can do it. Surround yourself with people that want to encourage you and push you towards your dream. People that are telling you no, or saying, I don't know, a lot of people are trying to get into film and stuff. A lot of people don't make it. You don't know anybody in the industry. You didn't go to film school. Tell them to shut the hell up. The main thing is this what you want to do? And if so, let's do it. I want to see you get there. Believe in yourself, because you can do it, and you will. You'll show them. Alrighty guys, that is my advice for when you're starting out in film, TV, and media, and I hope you found it helpful. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more videos about storytelling, content creation, and film and media, we do post a video every single week. Feel free to subscribe, and also if you have any questions about what we discussed, you can find me streaming on Twitch 3 nights a week. You can find links to that in the description down below. I would love to help you out and answer any questions that you may have. And until next time, I will see you guys in the next video.